Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Pirate Prepper here. I want to apologize for not being a little more prompt in my videos, but hey, life happens and it's been busy in the world. So tonight, I'd like to take a few moments and look at a few things. First off, excuse me, looking at why we prep. And the first real easy answer comes down to what's happening in Ukraine and Russia. Food shortages, food lines, increased costs across Europe, 20 to 50% increase in grocery bills in Germany in the next couple of weeks. I don't know about you, but a 20 to 50% increase in my grocery bill is going to be pretty tough to stomach. Pardon the pun there. But not just that. It looks like Ukraine has missed its planting date. And that's going to cause havoc with the world. And then you add Russia's planting and lack of sales to the world. There's 30% of the wheat and corn potentially off the world market, which for Asia, Africa is going to be detrimental, at best, potentially. So even here in America, we're looking at potentially some of our grains being exported for profit, of course, which will not filter down to the regular people, of course. So we need to start looking at what we want, what we have, what we need, and taking a moment to understand what is going to happen and why. We have potential for some really ugly inflation over the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, depending which economist you listen to. And when we've already been facing 0.8% inflation every month for over a year, that equates to quite a bit over just the last year. I know, again, our grocery bill has gone up 20, 25%. And that doesn't factor in additional people moving in with you or coming back from school or your kids. So looking at potential price increases and costs that we hadn't thought about. Look at the propane market. Look at the gas market. This morning, the cheapest place in my town was $4.25 a gallon for gas and $5.09 for diesel. That's ridiculous. Considering what it was a year ago, a year and a half ago, more importantly, a year and a half ago. We're looking at increased delivery costs, increased shipping. The shipping costs are going to go up just because of the diesel costs alone. And let's be honest, that's going to pass on to you and I. So what can we do? Well, excuse me. We can adapt. We can look at what we purchase and change what we purchase to a certain extent. And that doesn't mean going right into generics or the house brands. If you like a particular product, continue to get it, but buy it when it's on sale and in bulk, potentially. If you know that, hey, you have spaghetti once a month, well, 12 cans is a year's supply. Guess what? You can catch 12 cans on sale, do it. It's not going to go bad, you're going to eat it. And that saves you money down the road when the prices go up again. Look at the things you like. Look at the things you eat and will eat. If you don't eat lima beans, don't buy lima beans. If you like barley in like beef barley soup, hey, barley's cheap. You might pick up a box or two. Right now, we need to be looking at our own finances and our own lives to where we can make changes that are economically intelligent. Do you need that $5 coffee in the morning? Do we need that energy drink? Do we need that 2-liter bottle of soda? Yeah, it's cheap. What's it doing for your health, though? And again, it's $1.50 that you could put elsewhere, potentially. And I will admit, I don't mind a soda. So we need to pare down our needs, pare down our extravagance, extraneous spending. At the same time, we have to remember to live. Hey, going to see a movie once in a while is a nice break from reality. And not just doing it at home. I mean, sitting on the couch and watching movies, nice. But occasionally going to the theater and lounging back in the chairs, the big tub of popcorn's nice. Got to treat yourself once in a while, too. You can't just be serious all the time. But we're coming to a point in time where we have to make a decision about what direction we're going to go. Are we going to keep the blinders on and keep saying to ourselves, oh, it's never happened, so it's never going to happen? Are we going to stick with that normalcy bias? Or are we going to take a moment and be very critical about what is happening, when and where, and how it affects us? The butterfly effect. Something to be concerned about. What are the potential negative reactions to something happening in Ukraine, in Russia? I mean, right now, what would happen if everybody just went home? Seriously. If everybody just went home right now, the crops still getting planted. Russia still isn't selling its products to other nations right now because they're going to need it to feed their own people. How's that going to affect everybody right now? And then, what happens if the Russians take Ukraine, or half of Ukraine, or whatever? What happens to all that farmland? What happens to all that lithium? What happens to all the products, I shouldn't say products, the materials that come out of those countries for the world? It's an interesting concept, and unfortunately it's one we really don't get from the news. You don't see this on CNN, MSNBC, or even Fox News. Critical thinking is not flashy. It's not going to be newsworthy because anybody who can think can do it. But nobody wants to because it's generally negative. So take a look at what you need. Take a look at your day, what you use on a daily basis, and what you can do without, and or what you're really going to need for 3 months, 6 months, a year, and go from there. Choose accordingly. What's going to get hard to get? If China shuts down, or Taiwan, pick a country. What do you get from there? Start there. Yeah. Not an upper, not a big informative one, but one to make you think a little. And I've got another interesting one, a little more interesting one coming up, and I'm going to play with that thought for a while. So have a great one. Power Prepper out.